Here's the type of breakfast I do when I need to prep ahead of time. Um, if you don't like to use the oats, you can use the real carbs by 5%. The flavor's probably a lot better. I stick with the oats because it just my body reacts to a little bit better than with the real carbs. Um, but this version is kind of bland, but it's okay. I mean, I've done it forever. The reason that I do this type is because I can prep days ahead. You know, I'll cook these for the whole week. I'll usually the weekends I make my breakfast. Wednesday I make my breakfast because I don't do cardio. But there's 4 days of the week where I get up and go do cardio. So I do 4 of these, and I'll freeze 2 of them, and then Monday, Tuesday I take them with me and eat them. Wednesday when I'm cooking my breakfast here, I will take the other 2 out of the freezer and put them in the fridge, and then Thursday, Friday they're ready. I take them with me. I like to get up, get cardio done, and be eating at least within an hour of waking up. So to cut time off, I pre-make this breakfast. That way, I just get up, put on my shoes, grab it out of the fridge, head out the door, and then I eat it on the way back. I mean, it's good cold. It's not that bad. Just make sure you don't make them too dry, so that they're hard to get down in the morning. But it's just eggs, egg whites, and oats. So for those of you that I do diets for, you would do this in just whatever amount of egg and egg whites your diet calls for, use that. And then whatever oats it calls for, use that. Or if you're going to use the real carbs instead. So if you're using a cup of oats, the equivalent of that would be like 3 of those little scoops of real carbs. And then you just do that instead. The cool thing is when you use the real carbs, it comes out like a legit pancake. It's great. These come out like cardboard, but that's okay. Like I said, these actually work better. My luck, these work better for me than the real carbs do. And a little bit more filling. So my diet right now is 3 whole eggs, a half a cup of whites. So that's what we'll put in here. I like putting the whole eggs in, then putting the oats on top, and then the half a cup of whites on top of that. If you notice it's a little thick or dry, you may want to put some water in it. Once again, that way it doesn't cook so dry. So turn the pan on already. Jesus. I already fucked up the first egg. There we go. Fuck yeah. Then we need a little more. There. Now, on top of this, I'll put some salt. So I'm a salt guy. And cinnamon. And then I'll put the half a cup of whites on top. And then just blend this shit up. That actually blended up pretty well. And then I'm going to try to do it all at one time. If you have a hard time flipping it because it falls apart and stuff, you may want to do 2 or 3 out of one batch. But while that's cooking, I'll get the next one ready because it actually looks, it does a little better if you let the oats soak in the eggs and egg whites before you blend it. So the first one's always a little different, but then these other ones that come out after are going to be good. I'm going to let that sit and soak up. It'll get cut. For some reason, when you let it soak a little bit, it blends. The texture, the consistency, whatever you want to call it, comes out better when you blend it. So, and then I'll flip this one. Then when it comes out, I'll blend this, and I'll repeat this process until I have 4 of them. And then I use glass containers, so I cut them up, put them in glass containers, and let them cool before I put the plastic lids on top of them. Just going to glass is something I've done recently with as much stuff as possible. I don't do it on everything because I'm not perfect. So yeah, the benefits of this are having everything pre-made. If you do use the real carbs powder, you can pretty much blend and pour. If you let that one sit, it thickens a little too much. You might have to get a spoon and rake it out. That one I do like to make 2 pancakes out of 1 batch because it's just hard to flip when it's so soft when you try to flip it. So that's pretty much it. I'll flip this, and this one will be soaked by then, and then I'll just repeat the process until we have 4, and then it cools down. I put 2 in the fridge and 2 in the freezer, and that's it. Like I said, it's a cup of oats, 3 eggs, and 1/2 cup of egg whites. If I'm dieting, it'll be 1 whole egg and a whole cup of egg whites. I switch out the eggs for egg whites. Still a cup of oats, salt, cinnamon's fine, and that's the only difference. And if for guys who use more whole eggs and don't have enough like liquid texture to blend the oats, just add a little bit of water. I mean, if you really want to get fancy schmancy, you could put a little bit of almond milk in there, but you know, the people go overboard with that stuff too when they should just be, you know, say, especially when you're dieting, you stick to the basics. Now we can try to flip this one. Usually with these oat ones, I can flip them in one shot, even though they're really big. Yep. And then I'll put that on here. Right now I'll go ahead and blend this one because it's been sitting for a little while. Sounds a little thicker, so I think that works better. When you instantly blend it, it comes out a little watery, but it still all works out the same. So yeah, that's it. Once give this a few minutes, I'll put it on here to cool down. I'll pour in the next one. I just repeat that until I get 4 of them. Then I'm good. As you can see, it looks like cardboard, just as you would imagine. Nothing special. And then I cut it up and put in these glass containers, and after it cools off, I put the lids on. 2 go in the freezer, 2 go in the fridge. And then as I need them out of the freezer, I just rotate them down.